Now we're going to go on to item C, receive annual report from the Planning Commission.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of City Council. My name is Kelly Levine, and I will be serving this year as the Chair for the Planning Commission. Tonight, I have the pleasure of presenting the 2019 Planning Commission Annual Report to you. On tonight's agenda, I will begin with the composition of the 2019 and 2020 Planning Commission members, as well as an introduction to new planning staff. We will then review the significant accomplishments and items that the Planning Commission has reviewed and considered in 2019. I will conclude the presentation by sharing about the projects that are currently in progress and Planning Commission outlook for 2020. Where am I thinking? There we are. Okay. Our current roster includes 3 new commissioners, Tom Hamilton, Valentine Morgan, and Aros Ansberg Harmon, who joined in 2019. The other commissioners are Vice Chair Rick Biasotti, Mary Lou Johnson, and myself. In the past year, we've had 2 commissioner retirements, Sophie Lagasse, who resigned in August due to relocation, and Linda Mason, who has been elected to City Council in November. And tonight, we would like to give a special recognition to Commissioner Mary Lou Johnson. We are celebrating 30 years of Mary Lou's outstanding service to our city as a planning commissioner. On behalf of myself and my fellow commissioners, I would like to personally thank Mary Lou for her thoughtful and dedicated service to the community, and for her generosity towards her fellow commissioners through her encouragement and sharing her knowledge. We are so thankful for all she's done. Okay, now I would like to introduce you to a new member of planning staff, Pamela Wu, who is sitting right behind me. There she is. And she is now our Planning and Housing Manager and is also currently acting as our Planning Commission Secretary. Next, I will share the duties and purposes of the Planning Commission. We are a quasi-judiciary and advisory body that provides input and advises City Council. The Commission administers the zoning and subdivision ordinances in conjunction with the general plan by reviewing and approving private development applications. The Commission encourages the public to participate in land use policies pertinent to the physical growth of San Bruno. 3 members of Planning Commission also serve on the Architectural Review Committee. The Planning Commission meets on the 3rd Thursday of each month. And a little more about the Architectural Review Committee. The duties and purpose of the Architectural Review Committee are to serve as a subcommittee and an advisory body to the Planning Commission. The committee is comprised of 3 commissioners who volunteer for the monthly meeting normally held on the Thursday before the regular Planning Commission meeting. There we review and make recommendations on development projects before they are taken before the full Planning Commission, and we occasionally review and approve architectural review permits that are not required to go before the Planning Commission. Now we'll review the significant planning activities from 2019. First, in the early months, the Planning Commission reviewed items pertaining to new small wireless facilities. We reviewed the new small wireless facilities ordinance, the design and siting guidelines, the engineering design standards, and the standard conditions of approval for small wireless facilities that are located within the public right-of-way and within the utility easement on public and private properties. The Commission provided input in March, and City Council adopted these regulations in June 2019. The new ordinance provides regulatory control for small wireless facilities that are mostly small in size. Another significant and very exciting 2019 planning activity was the San Mateo Avenue Streetscape Plan. The Commission reviewed and commented on the Streetscape Plan in August and forwarded its recommendations for City Council's adoption in October 2019. The plan provides a clear and unified vision for San Mateo Avenue and will also create a sense of place and identity for the downtown. The plan will improve the street's visual character and sustainability and safety. It will also foster a positive experience for all modes of transportation, including pedestrians, bicyclists, and vehicular traffic. The Commission also reviewed a substantial update to the city's parking code. On December 17, 2019, the Planning Commission reviewed this draft zoning code amendment related to off-street parking and loading, and the associated parking design standards. The Commission voted unanimously to forward its recommendation to City Council for final ordinance review, which they will do at the January 28th study session. This is a major accomplishment that will provide significant benefit to the city. Significant development projects that the Commission reviewed in 2019 include the 9-unit multifamily development at 500 Sylvan Avenue, which is featured above, as well as the entitlement renewal for 111 San Bruno Avenue, shown below, which allowed for an additional year to obtain building permits. And it should be noted that both projects have submitted building permits for review. In 2019, the Planning Commission also approved 14 conditional use permits. That includes 7 single-family residential expansion and remodel projects, 7 commercial projects. And the commercial projects include a minor expansion at Artichoke Joe's, and an interior remodel and new sign update at Chuck E. Cheese. The Commission also reviewed and approved several new businesses, including J.C. Bruno Restaurant, Pino's Palette, and Planis Fitness Gym at Tanforan. Lastly, the Commission reviewed several requests to serve alcoholic beverages at existing restaurants, including Atlas Pizza and Walmart.com Cafeteria. I would also like to highlight the following projects that completed construction in 2019. Included is the Aperture, featured in the 2 photos at the top, which is the mixed-use project at 400 San Mateo Avenue. The project includes 83 residential units with ground floor commercial space. And the second project, as shown in the photo at the bottom, is the 3-story office building for the Police Credit Union at 1250 Grundy Lane. Looking forward, the following projects are currently under staff review and are anticipated to come before the Planning Commission and possibly City Council for consideration in 2020 to 2021. First is the Bay Hill specific plan. The draft environmental impact report preparation is underway and will study a maximum development program, including 2.46 million square feet of new office space, a new housing zoning district overlay for multifamily development, a hotel expansion, and a possible 2.1 acre civic use. The specific plan and environmental impact report are anticipated to be released for public view in 2020. Next, YouTube Phase 1 development application has been submitted for approximately 440,000 square feet of new office space and is anticipated to be reviewed by the Planning Commission in 2020. Okay, and here is a rendering of the new YouTube campus looking from Bay Hill Drive west towards Cherry Avenue. Other projects that are under review by the city include a proposed 3-story hotel with up to 34 rooms at 160 El Camino Real, shown top left, a proposed multifamily development with up to 24 dwelling units at 271 El Camino Real, shown top right, and a proposed development with 29 single-family homes on the northeast corner of San Bruno Avenue at Glenview Drive, shown at the bottom right. And these projects have been submitted for review, and they are anticipated to be reviewed by Planning Commission in 2020 or 2021. Other projects, very exciting project, includes the new City Recreation and Aquatic Center, shown above, and a new Stratford School serving only preschool and kindergarten age students at the former El Crystal School site. Both projects are also anticipated to be reviewed by the Planning Commission soon. And now for the 2020 outlook. Aside from major development projects, planning staff will continue to complete the zoning code update that includes the city's standards for housing development, accessory dwelling unit regulations, affordable housing program ordinance, the density bonus provisions, and other chapters related to housing in the city. In some cases, the city's dated regulations are inconsistent with the recently adopted state laws that address housing. This update is required under the adopted housing element of the general plan. The zoning code update and zoning map update would also align the base zoning districts for parcels within the general plan and transit corridors plan, areas that are allowed to be developed with housing under the plans that were adopted in 2009 and 2013. The zoning code update is a significant strategic initiative for the city. And finally, thank you. In conclusion, the Planning Commission, thank you. The Planning Commission would like to thank City Council for setting policy direction, and we look forward to continued collaborative efforts. This concludes my presentation for tonight. Staff and I would be happy to respond to any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Any questions from council? Linda?
No, I just want to say
Comment.
thank you and congratulations on your appointment to chair.
Thank you, and likewise for City Council.
Anything else? If not, please, on behalf of the council, please convey to those that are not here our appreciation and thanks for all the time that they do. Obviously, it's 2 meetings a month and ARC review and other special assignments. And with all the money that you folks make, which is nothing, we sincerely appreciate, because you're forced to do the Form 700 and go through other aspects. It takes a lot of time for someone to balance life, family, and giving the dedication all of you do to the community. So thank you.
Great, thank you. I will. Thank you.
All right, now I'd like to move on to, it's not listed, but we've asked City Manager Javon just to give a quick update on something that's been talked about.
Sure. City Manager Javon Grogan. So the mayor has asked me to address a survey that members of our community have received. And so the city did receive a number of inquiries about a survey that is online and I believe on social media that asks questions about development. It's important for the community to know that that survey is not a city survey, and we did not review its content. It appears to be something that is generated from a third party. And so I myself have not been pinged to take the survey, so I do not know the exact contents of it, although I have heard. But we did receive a number of inquiries asking, is this a survey from the city? And the answer to that is no.
Thank you. Now, City Attorney, Mr. Zaffarano. Mark.
Yes, just a quick report out of closed session, a prior closed session. So following a court-ordered mediation, the city and Verizon entered into an agreement resolving the lawsuit filed by Verizon against the city since the first regular city council meeting, since the agreement was signed by Verizon. We're reporting out that the city council did approve unanimously the substance of the agreement in closed session on November 26. And then just briefly, the substance of the agreement requires that if Verizon wants to pursue small cell applications anywhere in the city, including at either 123 Elm or anywhere else, it must resubmit those applications to conform with the city's new wireless ordinance that was reviewed and adopted by the Planning Commission and the City Council, along with design guidelines, conditions of approval, and Kelly Lathine spoke about those during her presentation. So any submissions will have to follow the city's new guidelines. And that was following several months of public meetings and discussions. The city will then review and process those applications, if any are filed, according to those new regulations. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.